Welcome back to episode 6 of the Hoopers Perspective podcast. I'm the host, Bertie Buchanan, and today we're going to be talking about the NBA and its kind of globalization and just how we are seeing more and more foreign and European players come through the NBA. And I just want to talk about some of the cool things with it and everything that kind of goes with it. So we'll get right into it here. 1/3 of the players in the NBA, or 1/3 of the players in the NBA draft are European. Last season, in the 2023-2024 NBA season, there were 125 foreign NBA players, which is 28% of NBA players. So, I know a lot of fans of the NBA, how could I say it, kind of don't, it sounds bad, but it's the truth. Honestly, they don't like seeing foreign players coming into the NBA, and they feel like they're almost taking over our league. But I don't feel like that at all. I think, the game is growing. So I want to talk about why are we seeing more and more foreign basketball players every single year in the NBA? And the number one reason, the game is growing. The game is becoming more of a worldwide sport, and it's so much easier for fans across the entire globe to watch any NBA game they want to, and it's just getting easier and easier to watch. So the game is just becoming such a worldwide thing, and I think it's a great thing. As much as I love basketball, I love even more to see it just expanding like it is, and just everybody getting the opportunity, no matter where you're from, to get to have basketball be a part of your life. I think it's super cool. So a second reason of why I feel like there's more and more foreign NBA players every year is kind of like I said in the first point, but like the internet, it's so much easier to scout those players from foreign countries. So for example, you take back in the early NBA years, or earlier NBA years, like the 70s or somewhere in there, let's take 70s for example. You're not going to be able to find foreign players that easy at all unless you're going to have to go to the country. You know what I mean? So it, unless you have some type of connection in that country or whatever, those people in foreign countries are not going to be seen or recognized. But nowadays, with the internet and with film, these NBA teams can scout a foreign player so much easier. For example, Victor Wembanyama, we saw Wemby 2 years before he got in the league. We were watching his highlights on Twitter all the time. So, the internet has made it so much easier for these NBA teams to scout foreign players, which has made it easier for them to have their opportunity to get to play in the NBA. And then the third reason I want to talk about, the reason there's more foreign players in the NBA is, most players in foreign countries have been playing pro since they were teenagers. So, for example, if you get a 14-year-old in Spain, right? Or I don't know the age limit or whatever, but let's say you get a 14-year-old in Spain and they're nice, right? They're just gonna be all right, we're gonna put him with the pros. Whereas if you get a 14-year-old here, he's gonna play 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, college, NBA. Well, that foreign kid is going to go 14 years old, pro, all the way up until 18 years old. He's going to play 4 years of pro before he gets into the league. So, like, these foreign kids are so much more, like, polished than, like, your average American kid. And I think, like, one thing that helps foreign players, and I'm not saying that, like, obviously you can name a lot of foreign guys that have, like, freak athleticism and stuff like that. But, like, when you really talk about, like, the athleticism of the game and, like, freaks of nature, like, you're going to think more, like, on the American side. And I think that actually helps the foreign players. Because, like, for example, like, for me, like, I grew up playing at the Y. And, like, we had kids all the time that, like, when I was a little kid, they were the best player in our age group. And they couldn't play, like, a lick of basketball. But they could dunk at 5'8" when we were in 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't matter that they couldn't play ball. They were just freak athletes compared to us. Now, when they got older, we all surpassed us basketball players surpassed them. But for example, for a foreign guy, like you look at a guy like Luka, who was probably never faster or more athletic than anybody on the court. Like, he's always had to figure out how to be smarter and just, like, more skilled. That's why that, in my opinion, is why I feel like you see these foreign guys smarter and more skilled than the American guys. You take Luka. He's probably, honestly, one of the best pick-and-roll players I've ever seen. You take Jokic. Smartest player, most skilled player. Like, he's incredible. And I think it's because their lack of athleticism, like they never could rely on athleticism, and skip steps. They had to go through the whole process. Whereas I think you take a kid like, Anthony Edwards, he's probably dunking in 5th grade, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he could have been good at basketball all the way up and through high school without being able to shoot a 3 to save his life. You know what I mean? So I think that really plays a part too. And another point I want to make about, the fans of the NBA, kind of talking about foreigners and European people taking over our league and how the Americans have got soft and all that stuff, like how foreign players are constantly winning MVPs. So, like, what you have to understand is, like, as the game is globalizing like it is and becoming a worldwide sport, there's 195 countries in the world, right? So, like, the odds of the best player in the world being an American are very low. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I just think that's a silly argument to say that American players are becoming soft and, like, foreign players are taking over. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think the game is just globalizing, which is a great thing. And there's so many new countries that are playing basketball, and there's so many new people coming onto our surface and being great in the league that, the odds of an American being the best player are lower and lower. And that's just how it is as the game is getting bigger and bigger. But I got 2 questions for the comments. The first question I got is, do you think that the USA team will continue to win the Olympics? Okay, so obviously they had a good team this year. Some older guys, but good team. Curry, LeBron, KD, AD, all those guys, right? But those guys won't be there when the Olympics comes to LA. But I'm not even just talking about in the next 4 years. I mean, all around, do you think the USA team can continue to win the Olympics consistently like they have in years past? And finally, I'm going to say mine, and I want you in the comments to say yours. I want your starting 5 of foreign players and your starting 5 of American players, okay? So I'm going to start with my starting 5 of foreign players, okay? So at the point guard, I got Shai Gilgeous. Shooting guard, I got Luka Doncic. Small forward, I'm putting Giannis at the small forward. At the power forward, I'm putting Jokic. And at my center, I'm putting Wemby. Okay? So, Shai, Luka, Giannis, Jokic, Wemby. That's my starting 5 for foreign players. Now, for American players, I got Curry, Anthony Edwards, LeBron, KD, and Anthony Davis. I do want to say one thing about the list of my American versus foreign players. I think it would be a beautiful thing to see those two lineups in a 7-game series. I think that would be a crazy thing. I believe that the list that I just named, I think the foreign players would win. Partially just because they're so much younger. I mean, you got Shai, who's in his prime, Luka's in his prime, Giannis in his prime, Jokic in his prime, and Wemby right before his prime. So you have, like, all of those players are in their prime. Then you have old Steph, old Bron, old KD, and older Anthony Davis, with Anthony Edwards in his prime. So I'd probably take the foreign roster in that, but I would love to see, like, I think it would be dope if, like, an All-Star Weekend, for example, they played, like, best foreign players versus best American players. I think that would be sick. But that's all I really have for today. I want you guys to, again, tell me your starting 5 for both foreign and American players in the comments, and tell me if you think the USA team will continue to win in the Olympics like they have in years past. Again, don't be a hater on these foreign guys coming in the league, because it's a beautiful thing to watch our game grow and expand like it is. And it's just, if you really love basketball, you would understand that, and you would want to see that. So, but that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.